Hi Mary, how are you?
Doing well. Thanks for coming to meet with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me in.
What have you been doing in London these last couple of days?
Just checking out some of the sites. We just went to Oxford, me and my wife, and so looking at some of the sites, and it was really beautiful. We just kind of been touring around a little bit.
Yeah, what do you think about the food so far?
It's different.
Different,
But it's pretty good.
Yeah, what are you used to eating?
A little bit of everything. I mean, I like American, Italian, Mexican. It was just different. But I mean, it's good.
It's good.
It's
There's a pretty good Italian joint just around the corner. I'll show you later.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good.
Well, once again, we're here because it sounds like there might be something you're not satisfied with in the contract proposal. So my question was, what might that be that you might find unappealing?
Well, I reviewed the contract. I'm guessing you got my email back then.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I appreciate the offer, but I think that for me, it just didn't come close to, it didn't make sense for me, just kind of looking at some of the numbers compared to some of the other things, the other offers that I've been given. It just didn't make sense, and so, you guys reached out to me wanting to meet again to make sure to see if there was any, possible way to find an agreement.
Mm-hmm.
And so initial reaction just for me, the numbers just didn't really line up.
Was there a specific number that didn't line up? What was the number that you didn't find satisfying?
I mean, I always hate to be a guy that just focuses on money, but
Okay.
but again, I've worked hard and just graduating now from graduate school, and so it's that time of life where I do have to, pay off those loans, and I have to bring that, the best amount of income that I can to provide for my family and create the lifestyle that I want. So I mean, the initial annual salary was disappointing, to be totally frank.
So it's the annual salary is the number we're talking about.
I mean, overall that definitely, I think, was the furthest from what I was hoping or expecting.
Okay. And I totally understand that. You just graduated from a pretty, well-known university with an MBA, and at this point in time, you should be rewarded, right, for that hard work. That's what you're thinking, right? You feel, I don't want to say the word entitled, but you've gone through a hard program, and you feel like you deserve it, and we agree. When unfortunately we are in a recession, and we can't afford to pay you, the income that you might want, but we know that we can find an alternative way to compensate you and find that gap, and that's what we're trying to do here today. Okay. So for you, what other priorities do you have besides just the salary alone? What are some other priorities you have if you were to work here?
I mean, that's definitely the main one for sure, because I was even researching in the area and with the job requirements, position that you guys are offering, that usually it's in the 70 to 90,000 range, and 70 being the normal average or low end number that I've been hearing, and you guys are even 10,000 below that. So for me, I think that it would take a lot to kind of make that jump even into the median range of where most of these other companies are offering.
Mm-hmm. And that totally makes sense. And I can't speak for you, but I can speak for a lot of other employees that work here at this company, including myself. And it's hard to put a value on a culture, right? There's some things that may be unseen or some things that are seen, and I want to go over those with you that kind of make up that gap. And I'm not saying everyone takes a cut to come here or anything like that, and you shouldn't expect to make less monetarily working for a place, but some of the benefits that we have here and some of the perks that we give our employees, we feel make up that difference. And I just want to touch some of those with you. You said you had a family coming, on the way. You mentioned last time in our meeting that your wife was pregnant. We include free daycare. There's a way to reduce stress. We want our employees to feel like welcome at home, so we have gyms. We have places that you can teach one another, skills. We have a pretty awesome organization in terms of hierarchy. Depending on your title, or it doesn't depend on your title, you can always go to an executive and pitch your ideas. We want you to always feel like you're included. And some of those intangibles that we feel make up some of that salary difference. And it can be kind of alarming at first. You see, we're underpaying you, and that might be alarming because I'm sure you've got other requests and you've had other interviews from other great companies, And I can't put a value on their companies, but for our company, we feel like that those perks that we give you and those benefits that we can talk about, will make up the difference.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the tough thing is I hear that same thing talking about the intangibles in a lot of those, great cultures. And they're saying all of that, the other companies on top of a better salary. So for me, it's tough to risk that amount of money or take that big of a cut when they're all saying, obviously I would love to believe that your culture would be the best. Mm-hmm. But when each interviewer is telling me that, when each executive is telling me that, it's almost sixes at that point. And then it does come down to numbers, unfortunately. So again, I mean, yeah, it's not a form of entitlement. Rather, it's the numbers across the board that I've been seeing, and so for me, that's concerning.
Okay. So what are some of those intangibles that maybe we can't see or maybe we haven't offered you thus far that would help you make up the difference, or how could you find value in other ways besides just the salary?
Well, I think that it is important. I would love a company that obviously wants to take care of me and my family, and fortunately I've been able to get by, at a very expensive graduate school program, and that debt has racked up. So I mean, that is something that is definitely would be beneficial as a company that wants to help me be able to get on my feet and get established, and obviously make the transition into this next chapter of life as smooth as possible and to get out of debt as fast as possible. So I'd say that's one area that's really important to me. I want to get out of debt as fast as possible, and so whether that's making as much money as possible while still enjoying where I work, or somehow finding another way to do it. Yeah. That's what I want to do.
Okay. So one thing that we want to give you incentive-wise, is an opportunity to gain a bonus, right? That's everyone. I think we have a philosophy here at our company that the harder you work, the harder you should be rewarded. And we don't want people to just scrape by and just settle for, the base salary that we give them. So we'd be willing to offer you a 70%, annual bonus depending on your performance. And that obviously varies on how the company does overall meeting their goals, how you specifically meet your goals, and how you, being a team lead now, would be, leading those goals as well. So if you were to hit all those, we'd give you a 70%, percent of your salary, increase bonus every year.
Right.
How's that sound?
I mean, yeah, definitely the bonuses are definitely something that I look forward to in this industry for sure. That'll definitely be a boost. And that is slightly higher than some of the other ones that I have heard, so I do like that. I don't know how it would work out with overall, but I think that's one thing that would be good for sure.
Okay. So are you more worried about the overall compensation yearly, or is it just starting out, getting your feet wet? What are some of the other concerns monetarily that you have besides just getting out of student loan debt?
I would say that's number one. And number two, being able to feel that I'm valued in the company, and that there is a fast track to senior position, to be able to have a strong title and strong share in the company eventually. So I've talked to some other friends of mine in other companies, and there's just been a feel of, we're going to put you on the fast track. We've seen your background, so I like that. I definitely want to feel valued and see that vision of hitting those goals quickly.
Okay. So currently we offered you the sales management position, and in the future we want to see how you perform, because we would like to see someone fulfill the senior management position, and that's a spot that is vacant right now in our company, and we haven't found anyone that we felt could fill it. But we do feel you could be a candidate for that in the future. Typically, we ask 3 years of experience before that, but if you were to show increasing performance and you were to be a great team lead, and we see that you do fit in this culture, and it sounds like you will. It sounds like culture is something that's important to you. We would be willing to do a yearly review, an annual review after your first year, and see if we could do something about getting that promotion which would obviously come with like extra compensation and, you know, potential for bigger bonuses.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. I think for me, if we were to make this deal work with Wabty, I would want that guarantee just because of the, you know, risks that I would be taking as far as what we talked about with different offers and amounts there. Fortunately, with a lot of the other guys that I've talked to, the 3 years hasn't been an issue just because of the track record that I've shown, and so they're willing to go out on a limb and say, no, we want you there. And so if we can guarantee that, you know, within the first year, obviously if I do something monumentally stupid or if I wasn't even close, then that would be one thing. But as long as there's that small margin, that would be important to me.
Okay. So what if we were to do the 60,000 annually? Because I can't budge on that. You know, that's one thing that I can't do. You know, that's not in my wheelhouse. But we do that, and then the 70% bonus at the end of the year based on performance, and then we do a yearly review. At the end of the year, we would evaluate you, and if you were to hit your quotas, then we would fast track you to management for that senior sales position. How does that sound?
Yeah, I mean, that definitely, the management side, that would definitely work for me, obviously. I still don't know how it would make sense for me numbers wise to go with you guys with the 60,000. So I mean, obviously I'm grateful for the offer. I appreciate the offer, but I don't know if I could take that when I'm being offered 75 somewhere else or something like that, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, I just don't know if I could. If you're not willing to budget in 60, or, you know, if you can't, I don't know if you're able to go to 70, being kind of that low bar level of the other numbers.
So they were dead set on the 60, but there's some other things that I could possibly do for you. We haven't talked about a signing bonus, right? You know, I think that's one of probably your biggest fears is moving here, right? All the initial costs that come, you know, from moving to a new city, especially London where it's a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, there will be some more expensive with that for sure.
So what we'd also be willing to do is give you a month in a hotel so that you can come find your place, you know, where to live, where to settle down, you know, and we cover those expenses obviously. And then we could also do like a $2,000 signing bonus, which would help go toward any initial costs that you have toward moving, you know, getting your family moved here and everything.
Okay. No, yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate the idea of being able to kind of have that cushion while moving. 2,000 seems a little low. What if would you be willing to do 10?
10's a little steep. We might be able to do like 3.5.
Okay. Yeah. What about 8?
We could do like 5.
We're getting closer. Yeah, because I'm getting 10 right just from the 60 to 70. So maybe not in the annual. I think if you guys are willing to do 8, then I think that would make it worth it to me, along with the package that we've discussed.
Okay.
So I don't know if you have to talk to somebody to clear that number, or if it's just a hard no. I mean, that's understandable, I think.
What if we did 7 and we also gave you the upfront loan for your apartment for first month's rent? And that would be interest free, and you know, you could just pay us back with your first or second paycheck.
I think I can work with that.
Okay. Well, if all those terms are satisfactory, you know, we'd love to have you work here at Wabty.
Wabty, yeah.
Wabty.
No, I appreciate it.
I
Thanks for
appreciate your
time.
time. Okay, good. I was so